Yesterday, at least 7 million Americans in America alone protested against Donald Trump's tyrannical presidency in the second No Kings protest. This was an incredible protest happening not just in every part of the United States, but around the world as well, with thousands and tens of thousands of people coming out and marching together, joining in solidarity. There were at least 2,600 registered protests yesterday and many more unregistered protests. This is an incredible feat of organizing that should be very, very applauded from Indivisible and many other organizations around the world. For example, in my organization, Democrats Abroad, there's a lot of people who are also organizing with Indivisible, but for some reason online it's become a bit fashionable to basically say that protests don't matter or that protests are just, quote, lib shit. And for me, this is preposterous because we've literally seen protest movements in several countries recently, most recently Madagascar, overthrow their governments in revolutions because of things that started as protests. And everything from Indian independence to the Russian Revolution to the French Revolution were all started because of protests. And the whole online American left's idea of calling things they don't like lib is just the same way the right uses woke. It just means things or people you don't like. It has no deeper meaning than that. But let me give you 5 reasons why protests actually matter in a big way for a movement. First of all, protests are a great place to build morale, especially if you feel like your movement is losing or it is on the margins. Just being around other people who believe in the same thing that you do is hugely important for boosting your self-esteem and your ability to go forward in a hard political struggle. 2 is taking a phrasing from the far right. It shows the power level of your movement. It is a flashing of your strength to those in authority and those you are trying to work against, of your actual collective might and power. In our minds, because we're human, we associate large groups of people pushing for the same thing as politically legitimate in itself because of the volume of people. That doesn't even have to make it representative of the total population, because we associate that big gathering with real representation of the total population. This is also why online, when we see lots of people talking about the same thing or being against a certain thing, we associate that with being the actual opinion with the public at large, and not just the concerns of a lot of nerds and bots online that are pushing a narrative. Our human minds, unfortunately, create patterns and norms where they might not exist at all. 3, it's a great place for recruitment, not just for your organization, but all the organizations taking part, not only with random people in the public you might interact with, but also with each other's membership, meaning that you entangle and you grow your movement all together from a bunch of different disparate groups into one strong force. Which leads us into number 4, community building and solidarity. In getting all of these people together through your organizations and also random people who you are interacting with on the streets through your protests, through them seeing that pre-posted onto the internet and on the media, you are starting to build up connections and networks of people that can work together towards a political end. And number 5, importantly, you are building international support by showing that not every American and not every person has fallen into obedience with the leadership, with the authoritarianism that has taken hold, with the fascist dictator. And the American anti-fascist movement is no different than any other. It is no different than any other movement that has needed support from abroad, pressure from other countries and organizations abroad to help achieve change domestically. And realistically, if things go very, very poorly, they will need their help and support in getting out and staying together. And all of these things can happen at the most full of love, joyous, fun protest you can imagine. It doesn't have to be something that's happening only when the tear gas is thrown and things become very violent, because the protest is about showing people that you're there and many people care about this issue, and most importantly, putting the fear into the government that the people might rise against them. And more often than not, the government does blink, and when they don't, things escalate to the next level. But don't think or mock the power of protest, what it can bring together, who it can bring together, the solidarity that it can bore, and the international support that can come raining down. Think of the great moments in political history, the speeches that were at rallies and protests like Martin Luther King's. These are moments that exist in history because protest is powerful. It is a symbol in the mind, and it is a way to build and change politics. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you can, please support the show. Links in the bio, and have a great day.